Okay, so this is 4 parallel circuits, which is your first circuit you need to do. Okay, this is your bag of supplies. You need to get out this paper right here that looks like this. This one can go back in your bag. You put that in your bag. You're going to need your aluminum foil. You're going to need this. Okay. You are going to need your battery. Leave it in the package. And you're going to need your LED. You're only going to need one LED, but leave it in the package. Just get out your whole baggie because you want to not lose them. So that's what you're going to need for this. You're also going to need tape, glue, and a pair of scissors. So this is the stuff that you need and a pencil and your journal. I forgot my journal at school, so you're going to have to deal with this. But that's what you need to complete this project. Train. Okay, so first step you need to do is turn to the page after you completed your notes. So if this was, pretend like this is your circuit notes, and you wrote and you wrote, you want to do this on page 38. Okay, so if you wrote on page 35, 36, maybe you continued writing your circuit on 37, you want to put this on page 38. If you made a mistake numbering your pages way back when, what is important is that you are writing on this side of your journal. Okay, so you want to have it on this side of your journal. You're going to label this parallel circuit up at the top. And you're going to write today's date, which should be 12/4. Okay. Then you're going to take this paper, and where you have this big bold line, you need to cut along that bold line. Okay, so we have that. Then you need to take this, and you're going to glue this on your paper. But what's important about how you glue this on, do you see this dotted line right here? This needs to go up against the free edge of your journal, because you will end up folding this over. And in fact, don't even glue it down. So you might want to crease it so you know where you need to glue it. You're going to glue the whole paper down except for that corner right there. So go ahead and put glue. Don't glue that corner all the way around your edge. And a little bit in the center, because you're going to glue this down into your journal. So glue it down right along the edge of your journal. And again, this edge needs to be free because you are going to fold it up. If you accidentally glue it down, that's fine. That's why you're gluing it on this edge, so you could fold that corner if you needed to. Now, if you review from your notes, you remember that this is going to be your light. This is going to be where your LED is. This is where we're going to place our battery. You are not taping your battery down. You're going to use the same battery for this whole project. Okay, the next thing you need to do is cut your aluminum foil. So if your aluminum foil is long, we are going to cut strips this direction. Now it's important that you cut as neat as possible. You want a straight piece as possible, and you want it to be about, oh, you can't see this. You want it to be about as wide as your finger. So I'm going to cut about along here. So we're going to cut right along that line. Kind of weird cutting with scissors on foil. You'll get used to it. Okay, so we cut that right along that line. Now, we are going to glue this down. And what's important is you go from this line all the way to the edge of that line. So we're going to place some glue right along that line. Okay, and then you're going to take your aluminum foil. So, dull side, shiny side. Go with dull side up for everything. Works better in the camera. So, dull side up. You're going to put it right on top of the glue. Make sure you go only to where that line is, and you're going to put it down. And then, you know, this is too long, so you're going to see where it is, and then you're just going to rip it off. So you have this strip right here. Now this strip is not long enough for this So we're going to save it over to the side because we might need it later, which means we need to cut another strip of foil. You want it to be about the same size or same width again. So cut along. Okay. Now we're going to glue this down, and you want to go from one end of the line all the way to the other end of the line. So we're going to put the glue down all the way along. Got a little extra. And remember we said we're going to put dull side up. So we're going to place this right on top of the line that we just applied the glue on. All the way up. Press down firmly, smoothly, so that it is covering that line and covering that glue, and then tear off your tail. And again, you want to save these because you're going to need these. So, we've got our circuit ready to go. Now we need to apply our LED and we need to apply our battery. You have your LED. We're going to do LED first. So you want to take out a blue LED, a blue one. So I'm going to use this big one so it shows up better on camera. So you have your blue LED, okay, and you have a long leg and a short leg for this. What you're going to do is you're going to very gently bend each one of these legs out so that it will go across this gap up here. Like you might be able to see there's that line, so you're going to put your LED right here and it's going to go from one edge to the other edge. And you want to try to make sure you take your longer leg and put it to this side, which is the long side. So long leg, long side, short leg, short side. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we're just going to place it here. That's all you have to do for that part right now. The next thing you need to do is going to involve your foil and your tape. Okay, so look at this side right here. We're going to zoom in later. Ignore the dirty. That's from the bridge. So you're going to take your foil and you're going to cut a small piece of foil, like super small. So there it is, and there's my finger to scale. You can see how small it is. You need 2 of these pieces. Because what these are to help us to make sure the legs or the leads of our LED are very nicely secure. So we're going to use the tape, and what's going to happen is we're going to take this piece and we're going to actually go across the leg of our LED. So you're going to take some tape, about this long, and you're going to put it right over top that piece of foil. So you can see this piece of foil is under the tape. Doesn't really matter at this point, shiny side, dull side. And then again, this stretch of foil, we're going to go right across our LED leg, right on top of the foil. So you want to put it down, and then you want to push it on either side of that lead of your LED. Make sure it's nice and tight in there, and then press down the rest of your tape so it's nice and tight. Okay, so once again, you can see right here, this is how the piece of foil goes over. So we're going to take our tape. We're going to use the tape to pick up that little piece of foil right there. See, there it is. And then we're going to put it on top, and we're going to put the foil on top of the metal part of our LED, and then you're going to push down on the foil and then stretch out to make the tape stick. So we put it down on top of the foil, and then we push on either side of that metal LED to make sure it's nice and secure. And then you're going to go out and push down. And the more secure this is, the better it is. And you want to use your nail and get in there so it's nice and tight. Okay. Now, we take our battery. And your battery has a Ziploc bag. This is a towel. So you want it to be nice and away from metal when you're not using it. And on the back, there's this dotted line. You just pop it out. And when you're done with your battery today, just put it right back in here and then put it in your bag. It'll help keep it nice and secure. So, if we did this correctly, we're going to see if this works. If your battery has a plus sign, so you can see there's the plus side, and it has a negative side. The positive side is identified with the plus sign, the negative side is blank. If you remember from your notes, the negative side should go to the short side of our LED. And since the short side of our LED touches this short line, that means the negative side of our battery should touch that line. And the long side of our LED touches the long side of the circuit. So when I fold this over, we want this foil to touch the top of that battery. And when we do that, we should complete our circuit and make it light up. Okay? Now, all you're doing is making a foil and battery sandwich. So we have the foil here, which touches the negative side of the battery. And then you have the foil here, which touches the top of the battery, which is the positive side. So the electrical current is able to go around, passing through the LED and back through the foil and travels down. So like there's electrical current, very small, traveling along this foil, through the LED, back down to the foil and back to the battery when you complete the circuit. And when this isn't touching, the circuit isn't complete, so there's nothing happening. Now, this is a parallel circuit because this goes across two parallel lines. If we were to add another LED here, it would continue to be a parallel circuit. Now, if I were to put this here and then put this here, my light bulb, my LED goes out because I just made a short circuit. See? The electrical current is always going to take what we call the path of least resistance. So it's going to take the shortest path possible. And if I put this foil here, the shortest path is not to go up to the LED. It's going to take a shortcut going across. We don't want that to happen. If you're messy when you did your foil and your foil touches, like this foil touches that foil at any point, that's what a short circuit is. So be careful that you don't like push your battery over and then accidentally keep pushing so that that foil touches that foil, because that would also result in a short circuit. You just want this foil to touch that part of your battery and this foil to touch that part of the battery. Now, if you accidentally put your LED upside down, it's okay. What will happen is you'll have to flip over your battery to make it work. So if you do this and it doesn't work, first thing you should do, flip over your battery and try it the other direction. And if that still doesn't work, flip it back over the right way, double check that you have these nice and pushed down. And then if it still doesn't work, make sure that this foil isn't touching this foil. Okay, so once you've verified that it's working, you need to make a note over here. So which side of your battery goes up, and then which side of the circuit is positive and negative. So for our battery, plus side goes up. So then if anybody looks at my journal, they know to make my circuit work, plus side of the battery goes up. And then we need to label the sides of our circuit. So the positive side of my battery touches this side, so this is the positive side of my circuit. And the negative side of my battery touches this side, so this is the negative side of my circuit. So that's all you need to do to make your circuit. And then you need to go on Canvas and make a little video showing me that when you put your battery in, so it needs to start this way, you flip it over, and your light goes on. So I need to see all of this when you make your video. Okay. Okay, little note I forgot. When you are finished with your circuit, you've made your video, you're done working, your battery needs to go back in this package, put it back in its little home. Ooh, careful. Put this back on, and you know what? If it rips off, just put a little tape on it to help keep it down, because you don't want this battery floating around. And then put it back in your Ziploc bag for your battery. Okay, goes right in here. And seal it shut. And then your LEDs, leave this one taped in your journal. It's okay, that one can stay in your journal. These LEDs need to go back in the bag. So any materials that you're not using, just when you're done using them, put them back in your bag so that you have them next time. So your foil will go back in there. Even these little foil strips, you might need them later. And this is your series circuit that we will use next.